My marathoning habits have struck back once again. And that I binged a lot of this game when the series first started. And now I haven't played it for like a week as a result. Not intentional. I wanted to have like this routine of recording like 1 or 2 episodes every morning or whatever, but like the moment that I have like, oh, gotta record the Patreon Q&A this morning or something like that, or like, oh god, that 8-hour Civilization stream we did. Suddenly it's a lot harder to fit these 1-hour videos into my schedule when I want to. And the amount of recording I did of this game made me fall behind on other things and so on. It's all a big engine. Thankfully I'm in the middle of a dungeon, so there's not a lot of context for me to remember what was happening. Yeah. Just keep trying to kill all the things in the dungeon and pick up all the things and beat the dungeon. So that's a pretty okay cutoff point. Is this always going to be here? I guess it will.
Right.
Anyway, let's look into some of the advice, if I can find it. Continue moving on engagement. Will continue moving when engaged by an enemy. I don't know the definition of what that means very well, so I'm not really sure about what to think about that. I just have to click through there. Oh, right, there's a dedicated auto pause menu. There we go. This is supposed to be a decent replacement for trying to sneak around all the time, is having the game just pause the moment a fight starts. Hopefully that'll be good. Oh, those are 2 different standards. No, enemy spotted's fine. We don't need to have them stop also when the party moves. Probably not. Some of the stuff might change over time. Character death is probably worth pausing, just to make sure I notice that it's happened. Yeah, what it actually means, of course, is downs, not death, because death is a few steps later in the process, a little more scary. This one's amusing, too. Just have the combat move continually slower the more people are involved in it is an interesting mechanic, at least. And we have a shadow. Relatively standard. More shadows! Okay. Eothan. I need you out of the way, buddy. If only they were half as dedicated to these formations as I would hope. And we get some serious business done. Okay. These are all vessels, right? They're spirits. They're different from vessels, I guess. So not quite. I can't center the camera there we go. Once I zoom in, it's better. It's hard to, the border of the map was getting in the way. So he's simultaneously holding every target like a badass, while they're all focused on him. So let's have the party focus on one target so we can deal damage to that dude. There we go. This will clean up relatively quickly. I think I just did disengagement damage to my character a little bit, which is a whoopsie. I believe Ed Eric can just change targets on the fly because he's currently engaged with all of them, and also I guess he won't be, even if he changes targets, he won't be moving, so I guess he wouldn't disengage anyway. There we go. Yeah, these guys don't really demand me to use attacks on them.
Something over there.
Trap disarmed.
Sure.
Some scale armor, some money. Stash it. I don't think we need more scale armor in this party, do we? Fuck. Thank you. Life. Biological body that betrays me. Ah! Cool. Wow. Holy shit. Okay. Thinking we want to get out of that. Are you about to die of burning? Holy shit. Okay. Combat only. Fuck you, combat only. You're dying of death. Combat only. Can you heal outside of combat? Are you just incapable of doing that? I don't want to do an AoE heal. I want you to heal yourself if you can. All of your abilities are combat only. That's kind of exhausting. It shares a portion of your divine strength. I don't want an AoE. I want it to heal you. I'm not sure if it even works on yourself. Oh well. I don't currently see a damage over time effect on you. I think the burning visual might just be temporary. And it, yeah, okay. It's just a visual cue. He's not currently being burned to death. Cloak of an Eothan priest. +9 will. Neat. What do you have right now? I don't know what you have, honestly. More defense when disengaging. The will save is probably better. Everyone else has a setup at the moment. The healing bonuses, other stuff. Yeah, let's put you in the stash. Put you away. No. Oh. Hi. Get him. Okay, you go here. Oh. Fight starting. Really rearrange that immediately. Aloth, get out of the way. I need you guys to both group up on this guy. Okay. He's not currently engaged, so let's get out of the way so we can rearrange. We need this guy to go down quickly, because he's focusing our ally here, and he's down. Yep. Oh god, I just accidentally right-clicked. Ignore that. Oh, sorry, Durance. I guess I should have focused on giving you more endurance. Okay. He's about to go down, thankfully, but this guy is putting up more of a fight than one usually expects. I think he's gonna go down, like, right now. An ambush.
Yeah.
Presumably scripted one. I don't know, he seemed to just show up. And I think it was a different color than the other phantoms. I think the other ones were also called phantoms, right? Not doing our best for our continued fortitude. Probably gonna have to rest midway through this floor. More shadows. Right, those are shadows. The other guy was a phantom. They're different.
Brave, tough.
Oh, no. That's not good. Alright, everybody try to focus that guy. Probably want to clear out the ads as fast as we can. Let's see, the phantom... The spirit is still... The phantom's still a spirit, so it's not a, It's not a vessel. Oh, you've redirected. That's not good news for me. Knock that guy on his ass. Keep the party healthy. Disease, ground, hobbled, poison. Yeah, I probably can't. I mean, technically, prone is not one of the things they're immune to, but I don't know how much faith I'd put in the ability for this to work. Let's give it a go. Why not? Alright. Aloth just took that guy out with that attack, so that's good. Aloth seems to be automatically using Arcane Assault each fight, so I don't have to manually tell him to do that these days. Eskier. Alright. So everyone's down to just this guy now. You're taking some hits, but you've got second wind. And you've got a few options here. Including this fun stun knockback thing. And he can be stunned. So that'd be one way to decrease damage going out right now. Or coming in. Whoa. Kind of forgot about the amount of knockback, I guess. Got it. They have to leave behind cartoonish piles of treasure because they don't leave corpses, because they're spooky ghosts.
Right.
There we go. We got it. I like my chanter. It's an interesting class idea. Definitely something different. Bard is the go-to comparison, but it's not really entirely accurate. It's just it's more of a thematic comparison than a mechanical one, I think. Although they both have a support role. It is not within our natures to forgive. Those who seek redemption seek a long and winding path, a road which takes us down into the very hollows of our soul and asks us to reflect upon the fractured aspects of ourselves. These are getting way too long for a temporary pop-up that comes up in a few seconds and disappears, by the way. If they're gonna make the document the readout that long, they should really not make it such a probably do it in a different form than that pop-up. It does show up here, but the fact that it shows up as a pop-up implies that you're supposed to be able to read it that way. And I think the longer they get, the more comical it starts to get. Whereas it makes more sense when it's like, it's creaky and damp. Like descriptions of the environment, not like passages of text, for example. I do have lockpicks. Mechanic skill of 5. I assume it automatically picks the best lockpicky person, because it'd be very annoying if it didn't. Hey Derek, strike. Alright.
Hey.
Nope, I meant to click there as in like everybody formation. Okay, my formation needs to be better. Come on. I need to put you a little further forward or something? Because Eothan somehow always is in front of my caster, even though he's supposed to be behind the caster. Eothan, what are you doing? How are you interpreting this as being... Come on. Okay, well... Now you get to be in the front lines, Eothan. Enjoy. It's gonna be fun. It's a single target. We can just kind of wait this one out. Yep. This isn't going to a new floor, is it? No, it's just a big crazy layout for a floor. A lesser black ooze. Get him! Oh, that's a lot of enemies. Also, you took the most damage somehow? Durance, that's impressive and confusing. How you managed to take all that damage. Uh-oh. That's one way to get their attention. And we're kind of splitting up. Okay. This is a lot of enemies. So it's a good time to get messy. Oh right, this is not around me, it's an area of effect. Keep forgetting about that. I think you want them to be in the core as much as possible. Fuck them up. That should help a bit. No, you redirect. We gotta deal with the fact that they're all endurance right now. And he's not endurance-ing it very well. Alright. He got low again just in time for the heal to come in, I suppose. Does he have a self-heal? That's an example, I suppose. That'll at least keep him going. Okay, that was unnecessary because the fight is over. Shit. Well, everyone gets to take part. You stand in it at least.
Yes.
It only heals endurance, though.
Huh?
It's rough. These are like next level complicated spell books. The still, dark waters are reflective as black glass. I guess I should camp. I don't really feel like going through the multiple loading screens to get back, so let's go ahead and do this. I don't know. It's hard to say. I think long term the damage reduction will become less useful and the heal multiplier will become more useful because one of them is a flat value and the other one's a percentage value, so as all the numbers get bigger in the game, then the healing received will be more effective because it scales, whereas the damage reduction doesn't. But right now, he's not taking very much damage, and I think that part of that might be because he has a flat damage reduction that's pretty high for this level. Oops. That's my interpretation. That's the core, is that percentages scale and non-percentages don't. You awake to the sensation of being shaken, and you open your eyes to see Eder standing over you, his hand jostling your shoulder. He looks concerned. Your eyes are heavy and your vision blurred, the vague unease of unremembered nightmares clouding your thoughts. You are not sure you slept at all the previous night.
Hey! Hey! You're awake? Good. You were kind of thrashing around, eyes rolled back in your head. You were shaking. Trying to snap you out of it for a long time now. I was gonna have to get a bucket of cold water. You don't seem like you get much rest at night. You got those dark circles under your eyes.
Not lately. At night there are dreams and whispers.
Well, it's the Watcher thing then. I'm sure it just takes some time to adjust is all. I'll try to let it sort itself out. But you'd better wake up faster next time. Trust me, you don't want that bucket of cold water.
His smile is not one of a man convinced by his own words. Wow, wow. What's over here? What is that? Oh, it's a Skulder. Gotcha. Get him. Of course, he's not going to be alone. Nope. Nope, that escalated immediately. Alright. Weapon ineffective, Eothan. Well, what a coincidence. We're about to do other things there anyway. There are wilders. No you don't. You do not simply redirect. That's bad. That's bad. Okay, Eothan's about to go down. That's pretty not good. Yep. We're trying, Eothan. He hasn't done the knockback yet. Slowest defense might be against mental. We need to deal with this to hopefully stop them from the attacks. But we're in a pretty bad spot. Try to knock him on his ass. Just do anything, really. Are you currently casting? Yeah. There we go. Knocked on his ass. Let's get you away from the fight. Then re-engage. Now that you've cast. The Skulder King. So it's a big deal unit. That's what's going on here. Edo's weapons ineffective. Gotcha. Pierce / Pierce. We can try switching weapons to see if it helps at all. Do a little casting. Yaskia's weapons ineffective. We can also try changing weapons. One of them's got to be effective. That's every category. Although his weapon's also ineffective, so maybe they're just all ineffective. Oh, fuck. Could you not do that? We run away like a lunatic. Weapon ineffective. Okay, so the new weapons are ineffective too. He's just got high physical defenses. Does that number mean that he has a DR of 18? Because that would be very ineffective. I think my only mental thing is... Yep. No. Oh no. We have an updated stat. So his mental stat is 34. His agility is one of the lower ones. So that would be something that he's not great at. Minor missiles. That's actually one of his lower stats too, technically. I'm not sure if it's DR or a percentage roll. Fan of Flames is an AoE that affects allies. Right? Yeah. If I cast this at 69%, 84%, yeah. That's more of an opener, if anything. Let's try the missiles. Oh, they have an AoE. Doesn't say they have an AoE. We might be okay. I haven't even... I've like gotten... ineffective. I think it's just a boss fight, ultimately, is the issue. Okay, you don't have to repause for each individual hit of the same cast spell. Spellcast. Word. Who has the Burning Wound spell? That's fun. Yeah. I don't know how effective it'll be necessarily, but it's some kind of thing to add. Everybody's weapons are ineffective. That autopause is getting a little annoying now. Okay. Now he's got combusting wounds for a while. No need for second wind, because Adair is just not taking damage. That's just his style. Reduces damage reduction. Yes. This seems to... I think he just has a flat damage reduction that's screwing us. We can look at it here, too. Oh, he just died. Let's see. Damage reduction 18. Yep. So while his other stats, I assume, are like dice roll things, like his... I think the other ones are like his resistances against certain elements. I think the shield is a literal damage reduction flat value. All of our weapons are doing minimum damage. We got him, though.
Almost.
That was almost certainly a boss fight, basically. All we get is ears out of it. All right. Where's this lead? Huh. The Pilgrim's Lasting Vigil. Head. Resolve and Perception +1. Huh. Huh. So there are helms that have stats. I guess I should have expected that because the capes did, but they're starting to feel like they were just cosmetic. The end of the Saints' War and the detonation of the Godhammer bomb is still mourned by followers of Eothan around the world. While the conflict diminished Eothas' following in the Deerwood, many remain faithful to the god of dawn and redemption, confident that he will one day rise again. Many followers make annual pilgrimages to shrines and temples of Eothas, or to what remains of them, on the anniversary of Saint Wadwin's death. The particulars of these vigils vary. In Red Ceres, they are often marked by song and by recitation of Saint Wedwin's sermons. In the Deerwood, where worshippers of Eothas are often persecuted, such ceremonies may involve standing in respectful silence until sunrise. It is customary for worshippers to wear armor. I keep losing my place when I scroll because there's no paragraph breaks. To wear armor or other articles that commemorate Eothas or his leadership through Wedwin. This helmet bears the sunburst emblem of the Redsaran army, is likely first worn by a soldier serving in the Saints' War. Oh, you get to keep wearing your helmet. We'll see how reasonable it turns out to be to continually stack all my tanky stats on my tanky character to the expense of other characters. Seems kind of like it might be a convenient exit of some sort. I'm thinking let's keep going first and come back on the way back. Oh, that's not a real door. Oh. Yeah. It's probably safe in here.
Remind me never to help kill my god again.
Remind me never to help kill my god again. Oh, that's quite a sentence. The light rises from the bones as you approach. You have a moment to register the faintest image of a standing figure, perhaps a blur of mist or smoke, before the world tilts. It is as if you have stepped sideways and into a new life. You are racing down a flight of stairs, following a weaving circle of torchlight. Your own panting breaths are loud in your ears, panic and your robes are alike foul your steps, and you nearly stumble before a hand reaches out to grip your arm and steady you. A fellow acolyte, who smiles encouragement as you reach the bottom. You run around and past the shallow reflection pool that marks the lowest point of the temple, following the dark shapes of older priests as they lead the way towards the narrow hall that leads to the vault. You pass one of the torchbearers as you go. The harsh illumination of the flames reveal a familiar face. For a moment, your awareness spans time and identity, and you think Wharton has joined you, here at the bottom of the temple. In the memory, he glances at you for a moment and then looks past at someone else. So Wharton's in the memory. "I'll come back, once they're gone," he's saying. You're being pressed along by the crowd, and his words are growing faint. "Just keep quiet, we can't take any chances." Inside the vault, golden relics gleam like welcoming stars. The memory twists, jarring you loose from one moment and plunging you into another like a flung doll. There is only darkness around you now. You think yourself blinded until the knowledge settles onto you like a cloak. The candles have all burnt away. You know now, too, with a sick certainty that nobody is coming. There is a cracking noise somewhere to your left, a wet, slurping gurgle and a ragged sob. You cannot see, and so you cannot know which brother or sister has fallen, and which digs after what water a body may provide. You hear in the faint murmuring to your right the familiar cadence of prayer, but you no longer recognize the words. You are too tired to do harm. The thirst is like fire within you. Your tongue is thick in your throat, and every breath is a struggle that leeches strength from you. There is a light, they said, at the end of every bout of darkness, but this one does not end. The spirit releases you, and you come back to yourself in pieces. Your vision clears, and the vault around you is revealed once more, cast in muted hues by the sickly illumination of the soul still drifting like fading fog. Fear wafts from the spirit in waves, fraying at your own emotions. Eothan, requirement not met. I'm sorry. I hope you find some peace in the next life. The spirit seems to withdraw into itself. You sense less of its fear and confusion as it recedes, but the soul lingers still. No matter how many times I see you staring off at nothing, it doesn't get less weird. Should I still be gathering the remains? If we have reason to think that he did something wrong? Did he lock everybody in here and then abandon them? Or was it an accident because of what went wrong and all the monsters that took over, and then he couldn't save them? You spend a few moments gathering up what you can find of the bones of the priests. It proves a heavy and gruesome burden, but you manage to recover them all. Some of the gold leaf on these relics is chipped away to reveal the wood beneath. There are tooth marks upon one of the bowls. There are faint scratches upon the brickwork by the door and hinges. The stand rocks unsteadily at its base. Seems that the mechanism is broken. A lot of currency types in this game. Hey, more Adra.
I'll have it in no time.
It's kind of an important find.
Work of a moment.
A pry bar. Effective for prying open certain types of containers, but not especially useful on doors due to the uneven and narrow distribution of leverage. I guess he's the mechanics dude right now, so I'll give it to him, assuming it does have utility, like the lockpick and everything. Gaun's share. Unique flail. One-handed. Right, I never switched you guys back. Oh, you never switched at all, did you? No, you switched. Yeah, you did. Alright. Maybe cross-compare a bit here. %30 of grazes are converted to hits, so nice bit of increased effectiveness. 20% of damage restored as endurance. Ooh. What? It's got life leech? That's great. And it's already fine, so it has the accuracy and damage bonus. It's a fast one. A lesser known aspect of the god Eothan, Gaun represents the cyclic nature of life and the seasons, and is often portrayed as a farmer wielding a scythe. He enjoys popularity among more rural followers of Eothan, who are drawn to his varying identities as provider, shepherd of the dead, and defender against injustice. Gaun's share is said to have been crafted by a distraught Deerwooden smith after the destruction of his home by a Glenfathan raiding party. Upon arriving at a neighboring settlement, the smith immediately set about his work, intending to craft a weapon suited to righting the wrongs done to his village. Toiling over several weeks, he was able to fashion a heavy flail covered in small, sickle-shaped blades, with which he was determined to send any returning invaders into the afterlife. Well, that's going to be a badass weapon for you. What am I holding and where did it come from? Oh. Like slightly misclicked, I guess? I don't know. I don't know how I got that wrong, but okay. And there's a real difference now. So that's Pierce, that's Crush. I could switch this into here. It's a fine weapon, so I might as well be keeping it equipped. So now this is Slash Pierce, and this is Crush. So now I have different attack elements additionally. And I guess I can put you away. Few different options from person to person. Bothers me a little bit how his freaking scale his Saints War armor. I don't know why I couldn't say that. War armor of war. Repeating syllables. It bothers me that he just does not look like his color scheme. The chest pieces people have different tend to yeah, completely ignore their color scheme. Chainmail, leather armor, scale mail. It's you who just wears a robe that actually confirms, because everything else just is its natural material color. That's just the underclothes. So it would seem that they were all locked in here. The only way in or out was this lever on the outside, and then they just all starved to death in here. Trapped. Scratching at the door, biting at bowls, just desperate, and left with no options, because the person who said they'd come back never did. This would have been when the temple was under attack, right? Because there was a... I think it was the local king decided to wipe out the temple. I don't think he's a king, to be accurate. I'm not great with titles, though. But I believe he decided to wipe them out, and so they hid. It might have been a general failure on his part and not a deception. His greatest regret. Fuck him up! But yeah, now my tanky boy with all this damage reduction also has life leech, so he's gonna be exceptionally hard to kill, as long as he can actually maintain aggro, which isn't always as easy. If he's on top of auto-attacking with Arcane Assault, he uses both stacks of it immediately. 1 miss, 2 graze, 1 hit, 1 crit. There's 4 enemies. One of them's dead. Are there 3 left? I guess there was 4 enemies. I didn't even notice in the crowd. Knock the healthiest one on his ass. Very clean fights. Over fast enough that my poor protagonist doesn't get to use any of his vocations, but that just means that the fights aren't high enough stake for them to matter anyway. You hear a grinding noise beneath your feet and the rush of water. Yep, it's gone. Reduced. More oozes. I do somewhat wonder if they might in some way turn out to be more dangerous in the depths. That was a bit of a self-heal, if anything. Knock him on his ass. Nah, it's... yeah, they're immune. Oh, were you not attacking, dude? I think my protagonist was just hanging out and watching for a bit. Oh, what's that? Gleaming silver key. This large silver key catches the light strangely, seeming to glow. Someone who died down here. Is this door locked by any chance? Doesn't seem like it. Just the usual baddies. You know what? I bet you guys hang out by the doorway. Just to kind of enclose them all. Cool. Oh, you are in the way. That is a lot of them. They are just shadows, though. They're not very effective. So it might not be worth committing. Anything to the fight. Here we go. A rare chance for vocation. Fuck him up. Yep, that hit. Yep, those both hit. And so we've effectively pushed the fight back. Let's assign one melee target to each of them so they can't keep pushing past us. Okay, Eothan, come on. You really blocked Durance's ability to help. Okay. We'll have to work on our door etiquette. Ooh. Ooh. Bookie book. Gave it to the wrong character. There we go. Potion of Wizard's Double. Might not be the worst, like, emergency button for Eder, even. I give the notes to my priest. And the lore to my wizard. Let's give the thief items back to you. I'm sure he can use them from your inventory, but it's gonna get too crowded too quickly. A crumpled note. This letter is fairly intact, though the parchment itself has been crumpled. Giester, I know that the temple baths boast great healing properties and that your back ails you still. Still, I would ask that, if you are to indulge for the greater part of the day, you give over your key to the sanctum to someone else for safekeeping. This is not the first time we have been forced to wait to perform the day's rites, and Rectrix Obrica is often too far below to hear our knocking. So that's the guy who had whose robe had the key, apparently. Where do I use the key, though? I'm not sure if I follow. Ah, that's the bell. That's the order of the bells. We can put that away. Eothan prayer. And the sun shall break through the darkness, and new dawn arriving with the rebirth of the day. Rejoice, all ye who dwelleth in the shadow, who are broken and beaten. The winter soon comes to an end. Spring shall rise, bringing light and life to the world. Radiant light, radiant life, and thy soul shall find warmth in his arms. All creatures bask in his glory. The rays of his countenance bathe the world, bringing an end to the night, ushering in the day. Kneel before him in wonder at his benevolence. Feel the warmth of his radiant presence. If thou art broken, he shall make thee whole. If thou art in darkness, he shall bring thee to the light. If thou art sinful, thou shalt be reborn. If thou art cold, his warmth shall bolster thee. How canst I, so lowly and worn, speak words of proper adultation? Thine eyes, whose gaze sees the sin in me, yet still shows love. Thine hands, whose grip pulls me out of the darkness. Thine ears, listening to my every prayer. Thine heart, bright as the dawn, giving me warmth when I am raw. Eothas, light of spring, sun of the world, thou givest me life and purpose. If thine heart be black, if thine intention be impure, thy life is forfeit. For he hath seen, he can see, he will see. Nothing is hidden from his glory. His light touches every corner of the world. Nothing is hidden from his sight. If thou dost thy work in the dark, if thou wouldst keep thine actions hidden, thou shalt be burned in the sun of the new dawn. Day comes soon. Prepare for the dawn. Nothing is hidden from his reach. Definitely feels like the kind of language that could be used to justify all sorts of things. +5 max endurance.
Yeah.
One of those righteous fury passages. This looks very complete. Might be.
Sure.
Is there anywhere I remember finding a locked thing? Because I don't. No? Well, there... Yeah, I lockpicked that door. So if I came in here, I could have found out about a note of the guy that likes to bathe, and the guy was bathing with a key, and then that probably could have been used to open this door, I guess. That's probably that whole system. But I simply just opened it, which kind of makes it... there's nothing more confusing than finding a key that you don't need. So then you just invent a problem, essentially, where one doesn't exist. Yeah. That further contextualizes this as being potentially the final... Like, this room and this room is the final rooms. Based on the layout of the area. If that key was something I actually had to find, I would have already explored everything else at that point. So here's the plot room. And here's the escape room, and also the boss of the dungeon, basically. The big bad vampire bat werewolf. Now where are we? A new room. Am I about to find that this wall does open like I thought it did? As you step over the circle of candles, you hear a rattling clunk from the wall nearby. A door slides open with a grinding rasp of stone. Hey! So the room that had the lack of furnishing there totally was a secret door. Where else could they be? The candles flicker gently as you approach. There is a gap above the altar lined with broken glass, where a mirror may once have been set into the wall.
The candles are still burning. Not bad for a dead god.
What's all this for?
Redemption. And they got this whole right for when you come of age. They take you by the hand and you descend through the temple with your eyes covered, and that's supposed to be like a wicked life. They don't tell you where you're going. I was sweating like crazy when I did mine. They take you to that reflecting pool back there, and you're allowed to look at it so you can face your sins. Then, you come out into this room, and they uncover your eyes again, and everyone's there to greet you, all your friends and family. It's like you've been redeemed. You light your candle, and it burns with the others. Never had a feeling better than that my whole life.
Eder's eyes linger on the candles, and he seems for a moment to be a younger man.
The candles are still burning. Not bad for a dead god.
Let's not snuff a candle in front of Eder, or in general. Not the best call.
It was nice to see those candles still burning. I figured they'd have gone out by now.
The other place with the door that weirded me out was like back here, where I was sure that it would open, but I've been on both sides of that wall, so who cares now? Is I guess the answer? Alright, confrontation time. Time for some answers.
Hail and well met.
I think I've sorted the worst of it. Arm's hurting a little less. He hesitates. You were down there a while. Did you find anything? His eyes dart constantly about the ruins. Something you're nervous about? No, of course not. Just never good to linger around these places, that's all. Wharton gives you a searching look. Did you find anything? You lied to me. What? Wharton grins uncertainly. I was clear about everything. The risk involved. The risk involved, is that what you mean? I did say there'd be spiders, and I'll pay you. Of course, for the trouble. I literally qualify for none of these. What a hero. Fine, give me the payment. Wharton looks up at you startled, then nods. Right, of course, here. He pulls a heavy sack of coins from his belt. You did your part, and I thank you for it. You've gained 200 copper. I'll take these to the cemetery, see they get a proper burial, instead of staying forgotten in some... that is... somewhere down there. Wharton hesitates. Did you... see anything else? I found more than bones. Something valuable, you mean? You can keep whatever you found. I don't want any of it. Nobody's been down below since. Redrick's people have no interest in Eothan goods, is my point. They won't miss whatever you take. Give me one reason I shouldn't cut your throat here and now. Wait, I don't know what you're... How could you... He eyes you fearfully. Look, I didn't kill them. Right up until the end, You don't understand. I tried to help them, I did. Every day, every single day I went to that temple and I warned them. I told them that they were playing with fire, and Roderick wouldn't be patient forever. And every time they'd shrug it off, like I didn't know what I was talking about, like it wasn't costing me, coming in and try to help them. I could have been arrested right alongside them. You worked for Radrick. Wharton gives a bleak laugh. Yes, but not anymore. It's been a long time since I held a blade. He hesitates. I knew what was coming. It was their own damn stupidity that kept them in there. I couldn't understand. Every warning I gave, they ignored. The Rectrix, she said they'd be reborn anyhow, so it didn't matter. He grimaces. So she got what she wanted, her martyrdom. Radrick ordered us to round them up, lock them in the cells. I convinced them to hide, at least. They have that vault, full of old relics, gold and such. I thought they could hide in there, and once the guards left, they'd have something to sell for passage out of the Deerwood, back to Adir. But when I told the men that the priest had already gone, they ordered the temple sealed. I couldn't get in again. Wharton shakes his head. There was nothing I could do. Eder's eyes are wide, disbelieving. Nothing you could do but tell someone. Get the town together, organize a rescue. I'd have dug them out with my own hands if I'd known. They were some of the last decent folk left in this hole. Now all we got left is people like you. You could have spoken up, told Redrick the truth. Wharton nods slowly. I could have. It would have ruined me, maybe killed me. But I could have saved them. He looks up at you, eyes wet. I didn't. I told you the way of it, Wharton says, his voice rough. I told you what happened. Guess it's your turn now to make a decision. It's not too late to make amends. Wharton lets out the breath he was holding. I'm not sure that's true. It's been years now. What am I supposed to do? Bury the bones. Try to lead a better life than you have so far. Wharton looks at the remains. He runs a hand through his hair, letting out another ragged breath. I can do that. I can. I'll lay them to rest, try and do right by them somehow. Thank you, truly, for what you've done. Give me a second chance. I'll put it to good use. It feels like a weird reference loop that somebody that I just gave a leg bone to somebody named Wirt. It's like a Diablo element, especially the part where we have a dark city. We have a city that has a continuous curse placed upon it, apparently, where we went underneath it in a dungeon. I'm like, there's some Diablo-y elements I'm feeling here. So calling him Wurton feels so close to just Wirt. Of course, I gave him a lot more than leg bone. And Slog's Compass, Merwold, travel to Radrick's Hold. I think I'd like to meet more characters first, before that point in the story, perhaps. I think y'all have earned a nice rest. I think nobody leveled up. No. No. We got about 2,500 left to go, and that whole quest was less. Yeah, so at the end there we got another 1,000 experience, which must have been split between everybody. So the more people you get, the more the whole thing slows down. I wonder if you get more experience from being nearly solo then, and having more characters starts to slow down your experience. I'm just thinking about the fact that new party members seem to scale to your level. So if you quested a bunch with a smaller party, you might get a ton of experience done before you even get a chance to deal with stuff like that.
Good day to you.
And then you rope in the new people and you'd be like disproportionately high level. Because you like artificially got more experience, basically. It might not work that way. Everybody's rested up. What little was actually necessary at that point. So where was Redrick's Keep anyway? Beyond Eastern Hold. East of the Eastern Wood. Did I actually find that already? Yep, east of Eastern Wood. So I need to get up to Eastern Wood, then go further east to his keep. He lives weirdly distant from his own base of operations. Like, if we go east of Eastern Wood, like, was it going to be there? Because, like, that's like the distance to going all the way to Defiance Bay from Gilded Vale. Huh. So how much area does he rule over? I guess is the question.